All right, I'm gonna need everybody to just chill out, okay? Like, for real. So the Nintendo Switch 2, that is the hot topic lately. Well, is it really? Maybe it's just what I'm seeing. And there just seems to be a whole lot of negativity about it. The latest wave is people posting videos about they regret their purchase and regretting the purchase of the Switch 2. I think a lot of people are kind of wrong about the Switch 2, maybe even straight up alarmist, where, negativity gets more views, so that's what people post. And that's kind of what this is about, is how I feel about the current state of the Switch 2 and kind of what other people are saying. For me personally, I bought the Switch 2 knowing what it was going to be, sort of, because again, I know I look young, I know I look good, but I'm actually almost about 50 years old. So I've been around for a lot of console launches. And this is about the same as other console launches in the past, where there's not a whole lot of games when it first comes out. There's like one or two good games that released with the unit, and then every few months afterwards, for up to a year, more and better games release. And we're seeing the exact same thing with the Switch 2. The Switch 2 has a whole library of Switch 1 games that some of them are enhanced and play better. Well, they're all enhanced and play better in some kind of way, but I mean specifically enhanced for the Switch 2 more than just taking advantage of the more power of the console itself. Now, me personally, like I said before, I think when I said in my Switch 2 video that I pretty much skipped this whole Switch thing. That was my son's console, a kid console to me. But now I'm kind of going back and playing a lot of that stuff. I recently, we had to clean out my storage recently, and I happened to find an old copy of Mario Odyssey. I had no idea I still had that game. So I had to put it in here and started playing it, and I guess it's been updated for the Switch 2, but it looks good. It seems to be really fun. Just playing it at first, I can kind of see why people are comparing the new Donkey Kong game to this, because they do kind of look the same. Have not played the new Donkey Kong yet, but I don't expect there to be this giant deluge of games for me to be playing right away. I assumed that the system would get better and better as the time went on. And also, I gave up a dead system to me for this system. So I traded in my Xbox Series X when they were giving like $500 store credit at GameStop in order to get this. My Series X, I hadn't turned it on in like 3 or 4 months, and before that, when I did turn it on, it was just to catch some updates or whatever. Since I have a gaming PC, that it was kind of redundant. I don't play on the TV much, so it didn't really need this for me. Now, one of the reasons why I like the Switch 2 so much is it's a standalone handheld, doesn't require the internet to play mostly, and right now, as the time of this video, it is football season, which is handheld season to me. So I didn't even realize this, but I have tons of handhelds, and they're all sitting on the coffee table in my living room. So I can easily get to them when I decide to sit out there and watch football, which is pretty much the only time I'm sitting in the living room these days. Most of the other time I'm in my actual gaming setup. So the Switch 2 has been perfect for me so far, just to slot it in with the rest of my gaming stuff, and I like it a lot. But the internet, because, negativity sells, is just a lot of people just talking down on the system itself. I think the system itself is fine, but I think it's definitely a fair critique about some of Nintendo's business practices. Things talking about how they can lock your system if they don't like the way you're using it, that you don't actually own it, that you just have a license to it. Downloaded games aren't real games, all this stuff. I think a lot of this was in place already, because, Xbox and PlayStation, whatever, would ban your console if you played modded stuff online. However, I will say I don't recall them being able to actually brick the console so you can't play it at all. You just wouldn't be able to play it online. So that's definitely a new one. If you don't like it, you don't like these things, just don't buy them. Right now, this gaming stuff is like a straight up luxury. These consoles are $500-$600, not to mention the gaming PC handheld ones that are like $1,000 now that are coming up. It's ridiculous. Now we're getting into luxury brands when we are talking about just a simple game console. And everything's getting more expensive. No one's really making more money while everything is getting more expensive. I think we need to come back down to earth here and realize that this is a hobby that we're supposed to have for fun, and maybe not take it so seriously. Maybe don't dwell so much on the negativity. Look, we all like the game. I like the game. My channel's about gaming, but let's not act like the sky is falling every time Nintendo drops something or the Direct comes out and it doesn't have any games that you specifically want. The game is just completely different than it was before. I remember going to my first E3 when E3 was a physical event you had to go to back in Man, do I gotta age myself? I guess I do. Like, I think it was like 2001, something like that. Yeah, long time ago. Might have been even earlier than that. And it was fantastic. There's new games coming out. Things kind of hit more in waves, and you heard about them. You don't have the same kind of access then as you do now to all kinds of information all at once. And too much information can sometimes be a bad thing if you can't mitigate and control and not let it affect you in the way that it seems to have affected so many people, where they're just in a straight up rage tizzy because their favorite Nintendo system is not working out exactly the way that they wanted to. Now, not to downplay, I'm sure some people are in the uproar, like, don't tell me how don't tell me how to feel. But I am telling you how to feel. What you gonna do? I'm just telling y'all to chill out. You know what I'm saying? I'm a gamer. You're a gamer. We all do this for fun. And being so upset about everything is taking the fun out of it. Now, the state of handheld gaming right now is, I would say, I guess it's good, but also an overload. We have way too many handhelds. Ambernick is putting out a brand new handheld every couple of months with the same processor and just a different form factor. Retroid is putting out stuff. You got AYN or AYN or whatever, putting stuff out. And there's all kinds of different of these little handhelds that are coming out. I think there's a new Magic X, and Magmi's coming out with one, and they all kind of do the same thing. And once you're past a certain kind of performance, for me, old school would be PS1 and below, maybe Dreamcast and below. Anything above that, to me, are more modern systems that I played heavily and enough where I thoroughly remember those and don't really feel the need to go back and play that kind of stuff. And that's just retro handhelds. We're talking about actual gaming handhelds. What's really popping off right now is handheld gaming PCs. And we got the new Xbox ROG Ally coming out. You saw I did the review for the Legion Go S. There's a Legion Go 2 about to come out. All of these things cost like $1,000 when they come out. And I know I had a comment in one of my last videos saying, hey, most of us buy these gaming PCs for the portability, and maybe it's not such a good idea to mention it, but I'm a money guy, bang for your buck guy. And I know some things being portable are better, and that's what you want, but I have to look at it like dollar wise. Is it worth the premium, paying $1,000 for, a fifth, maybe 2/5 of the performance I can get for a PC if I just even bought a pre-made or just built it myself. So that's just my way of looking at it, and I'm always going to just state how I feel about things on here. And I really think you have to think about the money and what you're spending. I mean, obviously for your own budget, but these things are expensive, and they're an expensive hobby. I've seen so many people, they literally have every handheld and they can afford that. More power to you. But me and myself, it's not even whether I can afford it or not. It's just, is this a good way to spend my money? I have children, I have a wife, family members, people I need to take care of, and problems just like all of you. So maybe spending $2,000-$3,000 in a couple of months on a few handhelds may not be worth it to me, especially when there's a lot of redundancy there. So I just wanted to come on. I'll probably do a little more of these, just kind of get on a yap session kind of things. And just talk about the state of the systems right now, what people are talking about. And I personally think people are wrong about the Switch 2. The Switch 2 is what it's supposed to be right now. And as the games start to release, and in a few years, everybody will love it just like they loved the original Switch, even though the original Switch was underpowered at the time it came out and continued to be underpowered as it went on. It's still a beloved system. So I think the Switch 2 will pretty much fall into the same niche. And I think all y'all just need to chill the hell out. So with that being said, once again, L double the gamer, y'all. I'm out.